Good afternoon, Facebook. Good afternoon, Twitter. Good afternoon, Instagram. Good afternoon, YouTube. This is Adrian coming back at you with part 3 of the 4 agreements. So I'm going to be quick tonight. I think I will be quick. But this is part 3 of the 4 agreements. And this segment is called Don't Make Assumptions. So very quickly, we've had agreement number 1, which is the impeccability of your word. Be kind with your words to your family, to everybody that you meet. Don't talk derogatory towards them. Don't talk gossip about them. So that's the first agreement. Number 2, don't take things personally. All right. And number 3, which we're going to get into right now, is don't make assumptions. All right. So by making assumptions, first of all, do we know what assumptions are? Assumptions, we heard the old saying, don't assume, you make an ass out of you and me. So an assumption is not really understanding what a person is talking about, and you come to your own conclusions without having to ask proper questions. So that's an assumption. So we don't want to do that. We don't want to do that in our new walk of life. We want to ask questions. All right. So by making assumptions, we are asking for problems. All right. We misunderstand things. We take things personally. And the end result is a great big mess at the end of the day, because we don't know what a person is talking about because we are assuming. Sadness and drama might be linked to making assumptions and taking things personally. So I want you to think about that statement real quick. So are you a person that takes things personal? Do you make assumptions? And is this a cause for drama and sadness in your life? Are you a person that consistently has drama or sadness? Or do you know someone that you work with or your partner? Do they exhibit these signs of sadness and always having drama? It is probably because, number 1, they take a whole lot of things personal, and number 2, they assume. All right. So always ask for clarification. All right. It is always better to ask questions than to make an assumption, because assumptions set us up for suffering. A lot of times we don't understand something. We make assumptions about the meaning, and when the truth comes out, it pops our bubble. So, and I'll give you an example. I was talking to a couple of young kids at work, and we were talking about money. So I asked them if they understood what a liability was or what an asset was. And neither one of them knew, but they continued on in the conversation. So at this point, they are assuming, because how could you possibly continue a conversation or know whether or not the information I'm giving you is valid or not, because you have no idea of what an asset or a liability is. So now you're going to take some information that you have incorrectly assumed, and now there's misunderstanding, there is non-clarity, it is not proper communication. So always ask a question. Get proper clarification so that communication is clear. All right. I'll give you another example. You happen to be walking in the mall, and you're walking in the mall. You're a young man. You're walking through the mall, and you see a young lady, and you smile at her, and she smiles back. Now you assume that she must really like you. You know, this is one of your assumptions. And so now you begin to build a fantasy that this girl really likes you, and all types of things can happen, and so on and so forth. But what you fail to do is approach the young lady and find out whether or not she actually likes you, or she was just returning your smile and going on about her day. So these are the type of situations that assumptions get us in. Okay, so we build our own fantasies, and when the truth comes out, like I said, it might pop your bubble. All right. making assumptions in relationships is really asking for problems. All right. You might have been with your wife for 10, 15 years, and you want to assume, or she might be mad, and she might think that because you guys have been together for 10 or 15 years, that you should know what the problem is. You're not a mind reader. All right. And it's vice versa, meaning that if the man is upset, and he's been married for 10 or 15 years, he feels that his wife should know what the problem is and fix it. How could she? She's not a mind reader. So in a relationship, partners, you need to understand that you need to ask questions. For me, it shows care and concern that you would take the time to say, listen, I don't really understand what's going on. Can you explain it to me? And this levels the playing field. And now everybody's clear. And now we can resolve whatever issue that there is. But I can't resolve an issue by assuming that I know what the problem is, and I don't. You understand what I'm saying? So making assumptions in relationships leads to all types of fights, difficulties, misunderstandings with people that we supposedly love. So for me, again, asking questions, not assuming, shows care and concern. All right? Do not make the assumption that your boyfriend, wife knows what you want. It's impossible. So, they might have a clue, they might have an inkling, but to clear all that up, ask the question. It's that simple. All right? And again, this is self-esteem. This is freedom from self. This is understanding who you are. So it is paramount that we do not overestimate or underestimate things we can do. All right? Because a lot of times we might not have asked the proper questions to solve a situation. So let's say that I believe that I can do a certain thing, and I try to do it, but I come to find out I can't do it. So don't overestimate your ability and don't underestimate your ability. You need to ask, did you ask the proper questions to be able to resolve the issue? Don't assume that you can do everything. Don't assume that you can't do everything. You need to do the research, find out what the problems are, answer the questions so that you can have the best shot at clear communication between yourself, your loved ones, your family, your friends, your co-workers, the boss, all these different things. All right? And don't lie to yourself. All right? Don't lie to yourself to make yourself right. So what I mean by that is that find somebody that you don't have to change, because you can't change anybody. And I hope people in relationships realize this. All right? We're going to do what we're going to do. My wife is going to do what she wants to do. At the end of the day, Adrian Williams is going to do what he wants to do. At the end of the day, my wife is not going to change me. She may be able to influence me a little bit, but she's not going to be able to change me. Change has got to come from within. So find somebody that you already like the way they are. Because if you're looking to change somebody, you're going to be in for heartache. Love the person for who they are. Because if you're trying to change somebody, that means there's some things that you don't like about them. And if you don't like some things about them, then you shouldn't be with them. Okay? Find somebody that you do like and stay with them. All right? That's the easiest way, is to find somebody that you do like, because love will not change people. You understand what I'm saying? Find a person that you don't have to change. It is much easier to find somebody who is already the way you want him or her. All right? And this is again personal freedom. You can't go through life or a relationship or a marriage trying to change somebody. That means that there's some issues that you don't like, and you're not going to change them no matter how hard you try. It's up to that individual to change himself. All right. So again, we're talking about assumptions and not to make them. Be clear. It's an open line of communication. That's what we're talking about. We're talking about everybody being level on the same playing field, so that everybody has the same information. I'm not trying to read your mind. You're not trying to read my mind. I'm going to tell you what I want. You should ask me what I want. You should ask me what's wrong. You should ask me what do I like, what don't I like, so that everybody's on the same page. All right. You don't understand what's going on if you don't ask questions. That's what you have to do. You have to ask questions. All right. Ask for what you want. Let a person know what you don't want. Clear communication. All right. So that's the third agreement. Don't make assumptions. All right. It works hand in hand with don't take things personal, which is a major obstacle for me. I am working diligently not to take things personal, especially with people who are close to you. All right. And I'm gonna tell you, it stops a whole lot of unnecessary drama. At 50 plus years, I'm done with drama. I don't hang around people that got issues, want to talk about people. I pull myself away. I really do. That's just where I'm at, and the amount of freedom it gives me to not be part of the gossip, to not be part of the down, talking about this person and talking about that person. And you have to walk away. You have to walk away because it's done all the time at your job, lunch. This is what people do. So, and I'm not saying that I haven't done it, but I'm telling you where I'm at, and what I'm trying to do is to get away from that type of stuff. And it just brings about clearness of mind so that I can walk on earth. I can make earth my heaven, and I can get out of the hell that is out here in the world. All right, that's my objective. All right, so this is Adrian coming at you. That was the third agreement. Do not make assumptions. We need clear communication for all things: relationships, jobs, friends, anything, any people that we're working with. We need clear communication. That's what it's all about. So don't make assumptions because assumptions lead to misunderstandings. They lead to drama, and they just lead to making poor decisions. All right. So again, I'm on YouTube. I'll be on Twitter. I'll be on Facebook. I'll be on Instagram. Share. Drop me a line. Tell me whether or not you are trying to utilize the 4 agreements. And next week, I will be back with the 4th and final episode, which is doing your best. So this is Adrian. I'm out of here. I hope I brought you guys some value. Take it easy.